Okay, so yes, we do get the chance to pick a different team for the actual mission to recruit the Justicar here. And as I was saying, we don't really have many options when it comes to people who specialize against barriers. That is in many ways our weakness right now, because we have Miranda, who can do warp, which does have extra damage against barriers. Other than that, Garrus can't really do that. Morden certainly can't, he's our armor specialist. Saeed is focusing primarily on taking down shields. Jacob, I guess, armor with the squad incendiary ammo at least. Jack eventually will become an anti-barrier person once we get her warp ammo, but we don't yet have that. So that's at least something we'd certainly like to get in the near future, but not yet. And then Kasumi, I guess, anti-shields. I mean, just generally does have a lot of damage with Shadow Strike, but it just means that when it comes to specializing in specifically dealing damage to barriers, the answer is really Miranda. And in case you can't tell from what I'm saying here, yes, we should try to focus on dealing with barriers right now. So for that reason, we will focus on Miranda first and foremost. Other than that, I guess second priority would be armor, in which case Morden is our armor specialist, and we really don't see much of him, so we might opt to take him. Garrus, I mean, if we do get to armor-piercing ammo, which, no, that's his ability that requires we do his loyalty mission, which we haven't done yet, so not yet a fit for him. As we were saying, Jacob for the ammo, it's not a terrible idea, especially because Miranda does not have an ammo power. That is really one of the only things she is not good at. So, could be reason to bring Jacob. Definitely not Jack, because, as we were saying, without warp ammo yet, she's not a good fit. Kasumi good, just because she has good crowd control abilities with Flashbang Grenade, and then the Overload is not super relevant here, but Shadow Strike, also just huge damage. I think the answer is probably Morden, though. Either Morden or Jacob, but we'll go with Morden. Okay, so for us, we of course recently were checking out our abilities here. I mean, the only thing we could actually afford right now would be either Flashbang Grenade 2, although I don't really think we need that, because the debuff is the same effectiveness regardless of whether it's level 1, 2, or 3. 4 might change a bit, but, you know, I just don't think we're going to be spending many points on that. We're basically just throwing 1 in it. Either that or Cryo Armor, or Cryo Ammo, and that's definitely not something we're putting any points in, ever. It's been a little while since we used Morden, though, so he does have some points. We could go all the way up to Solarian Scientist 4, which is probably worth doing. That's the last level of his passives, which will give us, let's see, shields, I assume tech damage, or weapon damage. Yeah, I mean, let's check it out. Let's do it. And so, Solarian Genius is 25% health, 18% weapon damage, and 25% shields. Morden's technical breakthroughs further increase the strength of his shields. Okay, so this one is presumably going to be the shield specialization. Versus this one here, we lose 7% on the shields, we gain 7% on the weapon damage. So, and health remains the same either way. So do you prioritize weapon damage? Do you prioritize shields? I mean, either one of those things are really the reason why you take Morden. You're taking him primarily because he has good powers for dealing with armor, and none of these really change that much, if at all. I feel like I'm kind of leaning toward the weapon damage just because squad mate shields, definitely not nearly as important as a Shepard's shields, because a squad mate goes down, we can always use Med-Gel to get them back, or if we're patient enough and we finish the encounter, then they'll just resurrect automatically. Whereas the weapon damage can at times be the difference between taking out an enemy before it reaches us and not. And that could be the difference between life and death for Shepard, which, like we were saying, is important, because if Shepard goes down, it's game over. So I think we go with weapon damage here. And then, I mean, we could throw 1 into Cryoblast. I mean, I'm actually not sure if we want to do Cryoblast or if we want to do Neural Shock from Morden in the future. Cryoblast, your Omni Tool fires a mass of super-cooled subatomic particles capable of mass or snap freezing impacted targets. So, notably, it does not deal any damage at all. It is purely for crowd control purposes. So in that sense, I mean, it's certainly less of a factor than, say, something like Incinerate is, which is definitely going to be his primary power. I think we probably do throw points into this rather than Neural Shock, because this will shock an opponent's nerves, briefly incapacitating one organic enemy at a time. Notably, does not do anything against synthetic enemies. For the most part, we will run into mechs somewhat often, but we don't see nearly as many Geth as we did in Mass Effect 1. So it's not like this is going to be a non-factor all that often, but there are going to be times when we're going to have all synthetic enemies and we're going to be staring at this ability and going, well, this is completely useless. So Cryoblast, I think it's unlikely. Unlikely we'll use it much, but one thing that is worth noting is that I think from a recharge time standpoint, it may be one of, if not the fastest recharge time of all squad-mate abilities. Remember, squad-mate abilities do tend to have a fair bit longer recharge time than Shepard does, even for the same ability. But Cryoblast, I think, might be the fastest. Certainly, there's a chance one of these at rank 4 gets it quicker cooldown still. So, I mean, sure. We'll throw it on. I think, like I said, Incineration is definitely going to be the primary thing we're looking at. So that's everything here. Miranda is all leveled up. Then in terms of our weapons, the question is, which heavy weapon? Avalanche, didn't it save our butt during Lair of the Shadowbroker, at least on one occasion? Yes, it did, right? There's one mission, or one component, in which we ran out of all other types of ammo, and then we just had to freeze our enemies and punch them. So, yes, it did help on that occasion. That's true. But I think for the most part, we are going to be prioritizing on this occasion. I mean, we could still go for it. Might actually want to go with the particle beam, though. That's an option. Missile launcher also an option. I think those might be our best. One of these three. Let's go with the collector beam just because we haven't used that nearly as often. And technically, I mean, many heavy weapons are good against basically any type of defenses, although I think the particle beam is in some ways one of our best ones against barriers specifically. And as I was saying, that's something we want to try to prioritize for this mission. Then for Miranda, Carnifex, Locust, looks good. Morden, Locust, Carnifex, also looks good. That is one thing to note with this team, is that technically speaking, we took two people who are not really weapon specialists, so all they have are the heavy pistol and the SMG. Of course, we've gotten upgrades for both of those weapons, so it's not nearly as much of a handicap as it might have been at the beginning of the game, but it does mean we're not going to have quite as much gun firepower as we might have had if we had taken someone like, say, Jacob. But this looks good.
Where do you think you're going?
Excuse me?
I'm taking
you're not talking to us.
Omega, Detective.
You're not going anywhere, Merchant. Not until I solve this murder.
I had nothing to do with that.
Murder?
It was those mercenary thugs you can't seem to get rid of.
The victim was your business partner, and I'm not ruling you out.
Oh.
I'll let you know when you can leave.
Juicy detail.
What about that Justicar that just showed up? Everyone says she might go crazy and start killing. I need to leave.
She'll only kill the unjust, so I'm sure you have nothing to worry about, Pitney 4.
Ooh.
Find me in the station if you need me.
Hey guys, don't mind us. So as a reminder, this is a crime scene that the Justicar is currently investigating, and we just learned a little bit more about said crime scene. Let's take a look around a bit, see what we can uncover here. If there's anything lying around, and in that case, in that sense, it does have some similarities in some ways, excuse me, Miranda, to Lair of the Shadowbroker, because of course there was that component in Lair of the Shadowbroker in which we were basically turning into Investigator Shepard. So we could have a little bit of that happening here as well. Is it just me, or for a second it looked like their armor was just like more or less exact copies of what Miranda had on? I was like, are you a Cerberus person who is not a human? That feels like that is kind of against everything that Cerberus stands for. It's a little bit taken aback for a second there. No, it looks similar, but it's not the same. So, let's see. There is some more stuff over here. There is also some kind of, it's like red tape over there. But before we head over there, let's chat with Pitney 4, who was the Volus that we saw in that conversation before we were heading in.
What do you want? I've already got mercs wanting to kill me like they did my partner. I don't need any more trouble. As if that weren't enough, some Asari Justicar showed up this morning. All the natives are scared of her. I've got to get off of this world.
It does really seem like between, what was it, Officer Dara we were talking to previously, Pitney 4 here, and potentially even, I guess less so, the Asari officer we were seeing talking to Pitney 4 before, but there are a lot of people who seem awfully nervous about this Justicar.
Has Samara actually done anything yet?
The Asari say that Justicars are lethal in a fight. And if they so much as smell corruption, they start shooting. The thing is, corruption isn't that hard to find around here.
Yeah. Does make sense that would make people a little uneasy, in that case, at least in this area. So, I mean, do you know where she is?
Tell me how to find the Justicar.
She's in the alley where my business partner was murdered.
Oh.
A detective sealed the area, so you'll have to talk with her if you want to go there.
Okay. Let's see. Can you tell us anything about the crime?
Why do you think it was mercenaries?
Dagny Kerr was cutting through a back alley last night when someone killed him with a shotgun. I saw his body this morning. They'd used modded rounds. That means Eclipse mercs.
Interesting. It's a interesting level of insight coming from this person who I think was technically just supposed to be some kind of merchant. It's you know, you'd think they're pretty experienced combatants if they recognize the rounds, or at least the after effects of the rounds once somebody has been shot with them. They can easily say, oh yeah, you know, obviously that person was shot by Eclipse. You can see that they're using that type of bullet. Like, what? That doesn't seem like the most straightforward thing to conclude, and yet you have concluded it. So, I mean, this is in the bottom half, which does sometimes mean this is technically a renegade option, so it's, you know, we'll do it, but we might get some renegade points for it.
You must know something about these Eclipse.
I occasionally do business with them, but only in well-lit places, with my guards, and only after the cred's clear. This is a scummy bunch, even by merc standards. They sell red sand, all kinds of illegal items, and they are all cold-blooded killers.
And I think we heard about red sand previously on Ilium, but just as a reminder, that is a kind of space drug. So, okay, that's what you know about the crime. The crime is of your partner, though, or the murder is of your partner, which does seem like, as the officer was saying before, I think would make you on the suspect list.
You don't seem too broken up about your partner's death.
Dagny Kerr knew the risks when he took to spacing. Right now, my worry is me.
Well, that's honorable.
It's unhealthy to be a Volus in the Nosastra spaceport right now. Especially a Volus named Pitney 4.
Okay, I mean, do you have any reason to know how or why the murderer might have gone after your partner?
Why would these mercs kill him? And why do you think they're coming after you, too?
I have no idea. We're innocent merchants. But they killed him, so they must be after me, too. I have to work the angles and get out of here.
I mean, you say you're innocent, but you just said earlier in this conversation that it's not hard to find corruption on Ilium. It's more or less everywhere. That's basically what everyone has told us, so, I don't know. I have a feeling that you are not nearly as innocent as you might be trying to make us think you are. I mean, as for what kind of crime you might be doing or affiliated with, and whether that would be sufficient to catch the attention of whoever it was who did murder your partner and potentially even the Justicar, that of course remains to be seen. But either way, that looks like everything we can ask you about, so let's head out.
I should go.
Okay, we can talk to the Asari detective who locked down the spaceport. Let's make a point of doing that then. This is the police area here. As Pitney 4 was saying, that is the area through this section right here where the crime actually took place. So that's probably where we're going to be looking to go longer term, but there is also this spaceport official.
I wanted to be a Justicar when I was young. Every Asari does, I guess.
I mean, it does seem like it's the kind of thing where, kind of like Spectres, you have a lot of power, a lot of influence, and so it's tempting to take on that kind of role. Let's see. In the police station, that is. It's a medical station. I mean, I'm not sure what our current state of our medigels is. That might be worth picking up. There's also a weapons locker. I mean, obviously we just picked up all of our stuff before we headed out for this mission, so we should be fine for that stuff. Let's get this just in case. Yeah, we did actually need it, so sure. Alright then, Detective Anaya.
Nice guns. Try not to use them in my district. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for an Asari warrior named Samara.
If you've got a score to settle with Samara, take it somewhere else. I've got more than enough trouble here already.
Okay, I mean, but we do need her help, is the thing?
I need to recruit Samara for my mission. Then we'll be on our way.
Justicars usually work alone, but they are drawn to impossible causes.
Alright.
Self-correcting policy.
Yep.
Fortunate in our case, of course.
If you're getting her out of my district, I'll get you to her ASAP. She's at the crime scene.
Okay. Sure, that is what we heard previously from Pitney 4. But do you know why she's there, other than just that, I mean, it's part of her code?
You're letting her into a sealed crime scene?
It does also seem odd.
I'll work with the Justicar all I can. Besides, she's been looking at crime scenes longer than our two lifespans combined.
Oh.
She knows how to handle herself.
Okay. Fair enough. It does seem like everyone in this area wants to get rid of her, though.
You're awfully anxious to get Samara out of your district.
My bosses want me to detain her. They're worried she'll cause some kind of cross-species incident, but her Justicar code won't let her be taken into custody. If I try it, she'll have to kill me.
Oh.
I have no interest in dying, so if you lure her away with some big noble cause before I have to carry out my orders, I'm thrilled to help you.
Okay. These are some interesting options. Samara sounds unprincipled. I mean, interesting point, because in some ways, you know, everything is supposed to be according to her code, it seems, or the Justicar code, which is very principled. That's the whole point of it. It may not be the same principles that we subscribe to, but it is very principled. So that just feels like it's kind of coming at things from the wrong angle there. I mean, at least for Detective Anaya here, sounds like that order to try to detain Samara, just a bad idea. So, you know, if you can, I'd say we'll try to help you out, but otherwise, maybe you just don't follow that one. Surely the consequences of not following that order would be better than death, which sounds like that's the alternative.
Your superiors are sending you to certain death for no good reason. You have a right to disobey.
Let's remember that next time Shepard sets us up against impossible odds.
Hey,
Twice a
don't
day
use that
on
against us. Twice a day on average. Oh, yeah, you know, probably true. Our reasons are good, thank you very much.
Most of the time, I'm not being stupid about it. I can't say the same for Anaya's superiors.
I'm a cop and I know my duty. I've been ordered to detain her and I will. Unless I can get her to leave my district first.
Okay. So, it sounds like, you know, other than accusing Samara of being unprincipled, that's probably the last thing we can do to,
How do I
get some
to the
information
crime
out of
scene?
Anaya.
It's around the corner. Go outside, take a left. Look for the police line. I'll send word to let you in. Be careful. The local Eclipse mercs have been all over those back alleys lately.
Okay. Well, we can get a little bit more information from you still. Let's see. Can you tell us more about the crime scene?
You mentioned a crime scene.
A Volus merchant was murdered. It was a professional hit, so we're not dealing with junkies looking for a score. I'm thinking the local Eclipse mercenary band. Can't prove it, but if the Volus was dirty too, maybe it's just a deal gone bad.
Okay. Can you tell us more about the mercenaries? Obviously, we have run into Eclipse a bit in the past.
What do I need to know about these mercenaries?
Eclipse mercs are professional killers. They sell red sand, trade illegal weapons tech, and smuggle criminals off-world. They control some back alleys around here. I haven't been able to find their nest yet, though.
Okay. So, it does sound like that's the type of enemy we should expect to run into. We found them previously on Archangel's recruitment mission, Kasumi's loyalty mission, and I'm sure we had at least one minor side quest that had them as well. So, notably, their thing is that, surprise, surprise, of all the three gang, as they tend to be the one that is highest on barriers. Hence why I want to focus on trying to do extra damage to barriers. And they do have some biotics, more so than, well, actually, do any of the other groups have biotics? Blue Suns, I don't think have any. And Bloodpack, I don't think do either. But yeah, so I suppose that means, yeah, the Eclipse, the things that are most notable about them, the barriers, and they do have some biotics with their vanguards. So those are the things we should be trying to keep an eye out for. As for the Justicars, though, or at least the single Justicar that is here.
What can you tell me about Justicars?
They're kind of... humans might call them warrior monks. They live by a complex code that compels them to punish the wicked and protect the pure. They've been a part of Asari culture for millennia. I read adventure stories about Justicars when I was a child.
Okay. I mean, does that mean you have a particular opinion when it comes to Samara?
What do you think of Samara herself?
She's been a Justicar longer than 3 of your lifespans. Whoever she was before she swore that oath, that person is dead.
Oh. Okay. Metaphorically, I hope you mean. I think, we could ask her about her fear of Samara, or at least what we might be perceiving as her fear of Samara. But again, bottom half tends to be more the renegade options, and I think we've got a good enough read on the situation here to understand what we're dealing with.
I have to go.
Good luck.
We'd better find Samara before the detective goes after her.
Alright. Let's see. So now, visit the crime scene. Take a closer look at that. Actually, didn't get any morality points at all from that, but... So... Look for Samara at the murder scene behind the police tape. Based on everything we've heard from the people we've spoken to thus far, that does definitely seem like the place we're expecting to find her. So we talked to Pitney 4, we talked to Officer Anaya, we briefly spoke to this spaceport official. Don't think we can chat with any of these people. So before we head in, let's save. Because I think as soon as we cross through here... Actually, can we do anything here? This elevator appears to need a pass card, which we do not have. But yeah, this might be a point of no return once we step across here, so it can be tough at times, or it can be a little bit hidden. Pitney 4 is gonna, in this back corner here, if you're not paying attention, you could walk right past them and miss them. And similarly, I think you need to talk to one of them, at least, to get through this tape line, but either way.
Anaya told us to let you through. Watch yourself. There's Merc activity back here. We're waiting on backup.
Okay. So, let's see. We got some shipping details. Area. Let's consider this extra stock surplus. Ship the rest to Thax at his normal destination. You'll never miss a few lost pieces. Okay, let's upload the message. I should get a journal update for this. Let's see. It's a side assignment. Ilium the Justicar, stolen goods found. Cache of transported goods stolen by the transport operator was found and reported to Mr. Thax, the owner of the goods. Return to Ilium to see what happens as a result of informing Mr. Thax about the stolen goods. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, I did not do that. The game said, you know what, Lids? You might want to pull out your weapon just in case. So here is the crime scene, or at least we're going through to the crime scene now. And, as we probably expected, no map. Check out here. Anything else? In this area, we've got...
Get the rest of Bravo Squad prepped.
Oh! Some enemies over here. The rest of Bravo Squad prepped. Alpha Squad went after that Justicar 20 minutes ago. They've gone dark. Okay, hold on. Let's nab some credits first. Then let's save. Oh, hello, friends. Let's see what we have here. We've got a Sisterhood Initiate. We have an Eclipse Vanguard. We have 2, possibly 3 Loki mechs. So, as we were saying, we suspected we might run into some, well, biotic using, barrier having, Eclipse enemies, and here they are, in addition to some mechs in this case with some armor, so That means, Miranda, you got the warp for these guys. Morden, you've got the incineration blast for those guys. So let's go, and it looks like we can get a bit of a jump on them here. Why don't we also, at least, activate our incendiary ammo before they notice us? Now, okay. So, I think what we want to do is we want to open with the warp with Miranda on the Vanguard. I think functionally, the Sisterhood Initiate is basically just a new member of Eclipse who is functionally the same as an Eclipse Vanguard. So treat them the same way. But let's warp one of them, then we'll use Morden to do a big incineration blast, and then we'll hit them all with a flashbang grenade. There is a bit of a grenade delay on our flashbang grenade, so let's maybe launch that first over there, and I'm trying to make it so that it'll roll close to all of them. Then Miranda, go with that. Then after that, Morden do this, fall back a little bit, and I think we got a decent first hit on them all, so that's good. Let's make sure that we actually stay in cover here, though. Oh, nope, I did not want that, though. I wanted to keep this active, thank you very much. I wanted to charge this up and blast you in the face. Okay, so the Initiate is down. Incineration Blast, excuse me, cannot hit all of them. Why? Oh, because they have health rather than armor, so why don't we... I mean, we can still hit them all. It's just going to do very little damage. I mean, we could try the Cryo to slow them down. That is a thing that we now have. Also, shockwave them, I suppose, to send them all flying, which actually worked very well. One of them is still alive here, apparently. Oh, Vanguard back there. Hid that entire time. Very well at that. Here you are. Warp is specifically to get rid of your barriers. Now that your barriers are down, let's incinerate you and pull you. And that'll finish you off. Okay, so I think that may be the type of enemy that we're expecting to run into over here, given how we are expecting more Eclipse. And plenty of ammo. Thankfully, we did not need to use much of our ammo to take those guys out, so maybe we'll save those other Eclipse, potentially come back here on a future occasion. Because we did bring a pretty good squad when it comes to our powers for dealing damage to those barriers and to that armor. Let's see. Was there anything else over here? Or are we just looking to go straight back through that door? I guess we are. Oh. Not gonna lie, I was expecting a Willem scream.
Those were my best troops.
Tell me what I need to know, and I will be gone from here.
Oh, so that's Samara.
Where did you send her?
You think I'd betray her? She would hurt me in ways you can't imagine.
The name of the ship. Your life hangs on the answer, Lieutenant.
You can kill me, but one of us will take you down, Justicar.
You sure about that?
What was the name of the ship she left on?
Go to hell.
Something tells me that wasn't the name of it.
Find peace in the embrace of the goddess.
Oh. Okay. Nice to meet you.
My name is Samara, a servant of the Justicar Code. My quarrel is with these Eclipse sisters, but I see 3 well-armed people before me. Are we friend or foe?
I mean, friends, but that did seem kind of gruesome.
That merc was wounded and helpless. Do you just kill anyone who won't help you?
If my cause is important enough, yes. Are you different?
I mean, to be fair, you could make the case we aren't, but, I'd like to believe that we try to draw the line a little bit in a different place than that. We don't go quite that far.
I've killed enemies, but always with good reason.
I answer to a code that is clearly defined. If my actions are true to that code, I am just. If they are not, I am unjust. I don't pretend it is a simple matter, or that it seems right to
When you-
everyone.
I'm pretty sure you
But
just
I
called it
sleep
the simple
well at
code.
night, and that is more than most can say. How may I be of service to you?
Okay, but here's the thing. You see, based on that demonstration there, it does appear as though you are quite a powerful biotic, and kind of person we could use on our team.
I'm going up against suicidal odds, and I need the best. That's you.
I sense the truth in what you say, and it humbles me. But I seek an incredibly dangerous fugitive. I cornered her here, but the Eclipse sisters smuggled her off-world. I must find the name of the ship she left on before the trail goes cold. I wish you were willing to go with the human, Justicar. I've been ordered to take you into custody if you won't leave.
You risk a great deal by following your orders, Detective. Fortunately, I will not have to resist.
My code obligates me to cooperate with you for one day. After that, I must return to my investigation. I won't be able to release you that soon. You won't be able to stop me.
Oh. Okay. So matter of fact. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to, keep you... I'm not gonna be able to, like, sort all this stuff out in just a day, so I'm gonna have to keep you locked up for a little longer. That doesn't matter. I'm going to leave anyway. And if you stop me, I'll have to kill you. So, what just happened?
The human is lost here. Can one of you clarify?
I was trying to convince her to leave with you, but Justicar's in their code.
The detective has been ordered to detain me. I can't force her to disobey an order.
And after a day, Samara fights her way out of custody, killing anyone in her way?
I am afraid so.
It doesn't sound very noble, justified, but, alright. Suppose we don't really understand your code, so, yeah, maybe we can help. Maybe we can. Get Samara out of here.
There must be some way we can all get what we need.
I see a way. While I am in custody, you find the name of that ship. Do that, and I will join you. Then the code will be satisfied.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal. This code, though, does seem pretty extreme.
This Justicar code seems quite strict.
It may seem so to you, but this is my oath. The expedient path may be fast and simple. That does not make it the right path.
Okay, it does seem as though, you know, you were sticking to your guns there in more ways than one, and, yet, you were pretty quick to switch plans.
A moment ago you refused to give up your investigation, but now you'll swear to follow me?
If I stay, I will be compelled to kill many innocents to escape incarceration. Like me. I may be killed, and my quarry would be free to continue murdering. If I come with you and survive your mission, I can resume my investigation. To do that, I need the ship's name to track her to her next hiding place. It is a simple choice.
Logical calculation. Slim odds, but possible. Better than impossible.
You know, I feel like Morden and Samara would get along quite well. Both very logical, analytically minded people. But can you tell us more about Justicars as a whole? We've heard a bit from other people, but I feel like, you know, hearing straight from the source would certainly be helpful.
Can you tell me more about Justicars?
We are individuals who have forsworn family, children, and worldly possessions aside from some weapons and armor. We travel Asari space righting wrongs as defined by the ancient code we have each memorized.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there a reason why you left Asari space?
Ilium may be dominated by Asari, but it isn't in Asari space.
My quarry fled to this place. I am sworn to hunt her down, and I will follow anywhere she goes. It is rare for a Justicar to leave Asari space, but I must follow my oath. If I suffer for it, I will accept that.
Okay, I mean, that's dedication. Gotta give her that much. So, where should we start?
Do you have any leads?
The Volus merchant Pitney 4 is tied to this. Eclipse mercs are preparing to kill him.
Oh, yeah, he thought that was the case.
Get the
Sounds like he
truth
was
out
right.
of him. He may know a way into the Eclipse base.
Well, I've got to get back to my station. And I guess I've got to take you with me. Thank you, Shepard.
I'm pretty sure did we ever tell her our name? We might not have, to tell you the truth. We might not have, actually. Strange as that sounds. So, anyways, that is the first component of this mission here. we got a bunch of Paragon points from that, so that's pretty nice, of course. But, let's see. Other than that, we are back, as you can see, in the area where we were at the very beginning of this mission. And, Pitney 4 is here as well. Not quite in the same place he was previously, but he is still here. Oh, there was the Turing worker here that I think we were able to talk to, but we neglected to do so.
Cops don't admit it, but the Eclipse sisters run this area.
Okay, I mean, does seem like that is somewhat consistent with what we've learned thus far. Before we talk to Pitney 4, though, let's see if we can...
I don't trust that Volus. There's something about him.
Let's see if there's anything else we can do while chatting with people around here. Because, yeah, interestingly enough, Anaya and Samara are back here.
Please don't start trouble about my prisoner. Trust me, I'd release her right now if I could. It's a great honor to have a Justicar here, but I could do without the honor of having her kill me.
I'd like to avoid killing you, Detective. Unfortunately, the moment my code dictates I must, I will. There is only the code.
She says this kind of thing like she's talking about what to eat for dinner.
Yeah, it is, like I said before, very, very matter of fact. She's notably not in a cell, so it would appear as though she could walk away in an instant if she'd like to.
You're not gonna lock her up?
Any attempt to put me in a passive restraint system will be regarded as a hostile action, and I will be forced to attack.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, in that case, understandable. Have a good day.
Find a way into the Eclipse hideout. Wasea, their leader, must have a record of the ship name.
Okay, so they have a leader named Wasea.
Find a way into the Eclipse hideout.
That's good to know.
Wasea, their leader, must have a record of the ship name.
That looks like all we can do with those two. But people were saying we should make a point of speaking with Pitney 4 again over here.
Hello again, Earth Clan. Did you speak to the detective?
Yeah, see, we have reason to believe you're a little bit more involved with all this than you initially wanted to make us think.
Why are the mercs after you?
I know nothing about any mercenaries, Earth Clan.
I think there might have been a brief...
I'm merely
Yep,
an
there it
innocent
is.
merchant
Renegade
trying to
interrupt.
make his way in life.
Not going to opt to take it here, of course. Obviously, it's already passed, but that's not our style, of course. But, alright, I mean, work with me here, dude.
The Eclipse are out for your blood. I need your help to break into their base. Shouldn't we work together?
Yes, you're right, Earth Clan. I'm desperate. I've got angry mercs after me, and now this Asari Justicar. Let's talk. I smuggled a chemical onto Ilium that boosts biotic powers in combat. It also is toxic.
Oh! Something tells me you didn't tell people about the fine print.
Forgotten to mention that to the Eclipse.
Yeah.
So they are perturbed and want to kill me.
Yeah, you know, see, the thing is, you might have brought that on yourself.
It sounds like you're a swindler, and your actions finally caught up with you.
True and true. But I haven't survived as a merchant this long without being able to tell when there's a deal in the making. You want something.
Ooh. Unfortunately, I mean, I was looking to do that and then still do the investigate to find out more about the other things in question. Don't even know what those things are, though, because it appears as though, after having done that, those disappeared. That's a little unusual. Usually that does not happen when we're talking left side of the dialogue wheel, because that usually keeps the conversation going rather than concluding it. But, alas, all we can do is ask for the ship name.
The Eclipse recently smuggled someone off-world. I need the name of the ship she left on.
I don't know about their people smuggling operations. They must keep records in their base. I do have a pass card they issued me to bring my goods in. Well, I had to return that one, but I happened to make a copy.
Just happened to make a copy. Shepard's like, is that so?
Take it. But be careful. Each Eclipse sister commits a murder to earn her uniform. They are all dangerous.
That's good information to know. Each Eclipse person kills someone as part of their initiation process. Remember that. Keep that one in the back of your mind. We did get an update So we obviously went to the crime scene. We've now just talked to Pitney 4, but we're looking to now attack the Eclipse hideout using Pitney 4's keycard to access the Eclipse hideout's elevator, which is the place where we were trying to get in previously. I'm curious if we can talk to him again and maybe get the chance to investigate, but yeah,
get into the Merc base now. It's the elevator back that way, to your right.
Excuse me? Well, you actually are correct. That is to my right. I was gonna say, what are the chances that you actually got that correct? I'm curious now. Do you say it's to my life now? My right now?
You should be able to get into the Merc base now. It's the elevator back that way, to your right.
No, it isn't. Incorrect. How dare you? It's over here. But it is the elevator we tried to go through previously, but we're not able to do so. Now we have the card, so we can do it. I don't believe there's anything else over here for us to do. In fact, we might not even be able to go back through if we want. Oh, apparently we can. Oh, no, we can't go back through this way. Okay, so... Miss anything there? Sorry, buddy. No, we're going back for it. Obviously, there was a little bit of credits there. So, pick that up. Let's head out. And, I imagine this is also, pretty sure, a point of no return for this part of the mission. So, we'll save before doing so, just in case.